Wintrust is a much smaller arena than United Center, but it wasn't full. Like, it definitely wasn't at capacity. It definitely wasn't sold out. They just got to do better, period. I mean, they have to do better for the girls, because I was thinking this whole time, I was like, it seems like there's a lot of people here at WNBA All-Star. Like, there's a lot of people in Chicago who are really excited about All-Star. You have to market it properly. There was a portion of the arena where the merch was just like in the middle of the hallway. You know what I mean? Like,
instead of a lively crowd, the sight of those empty seats at Wintrust Arena on Friday night during the WNBA All-Star Weekend three-point contest and skills challenge immediately raised concerns. What makes it even more disappointing is that Saturday's All-Star game at United Center told a completely different story, with 19,000 fans filling the arena and creating the exciting atmosphere everyone expected. So, what exactly happened on Friday? This goes far beyond a single event with weak attendance. It reflects a recurring pattern in the WNBA, where the league continues struggling to match the passion, excitement, and commitment the players consistently deliver on the court. Rachel spent the entire weekend in Chicago, and what she observed pointed toward a much deeper issue.
AZ put up a 30 ball in the three-point contest, and that's good as far as W standards and NBA standards. So I just felt like overall, the girls didn't let us down that night, but the league or whoever's marketing it or whoever's like running Wintrust Arena, like, you just got to be better, because the event on Saturday night, like the actual game, was in United Center, and that thing was packed. Like, it was packed, it was very loud, it was very passionate, like the fans were super excited to be there, signage and the lights and the literally everything going on in that arena.
Rather than creating the premium experience fans would expect, imagine walking into a professional sports arena for an All-Star Weekend event and finding the official WNBA merchandise sitting in the middle of a hallway instead of a dedicated store or an attractive booth with proper lighting and displays, with simple tables lined up in a corridor like a high school fundraiser. All of this is happening while the league is enjoying unprecedented growth, while Caitlin Clark continues driving record ratings, and while everyone keeps calling this the WNBA's true breakthrough moment. At the same time, the three-point contest itself was genuinely outstanding, as rookie A'Zia Wilson scored 30 points in the final round, an achievement that is legitimately impressive by any NBA or WNBA standard. A 30-point performance in a three-point contest represents elite-level shooting, yet the event that should have celebrated that remarkable accomplishment wasn't even close to selling out. The arena that could have been packed with fans witnessing history instead had entire sections that were barely filled. That ultimately brings us to a question nobody at the league office seems willing to answer directly. If you can't properly market and execute a Friday night event in a major market like Chicago with all the momentum the league has right now, when exactly are you going to get it right?
Sorry if this video is all over the place, but I kind of just want to give you guys like my perspective being on the ground at All-Star. I feel like Indiana did better as a city putting on W All-Star. However, some of the events this year were better than they were last year. Like, I do think, even though the game wasn't great on Saturday, I do actually think that they played better and played a little bit harder than they did last year. Like, I actually left at halftime last year. It was really, really bad last year, but I felt like they picked it up.
What truly deserves attention is this comparison: Indianapolis versus Chicago. Two different cities, two different years, yet the very same league organized both events. According to someone who attended each All-Star Weekend, Indianapolis actually delivered a better hosting experience in 2023 than Chicago did in 2024. Just think about what that really means. The WNBA has just finished what nearly everyone considers the most successful regular season in league history. Television ratings have climbed across the board, attendance records continue to be broken, and the Caitlin Clark effect is both real and clearly measurable. Even with all that momentum, the execution of All-Star Weekend somehow became worse instead of improving. What makes this even more interesting is that Rachel also said the on-court product was noticeably better this year than it was last year. The players competed with greater intensity, showed more defensive effort, and made the game far more enjoyable to watch. So while the athletes elevated their performances and worked harder to give fans exactly what they wanted, the infrastructure surrounding them was actually moving in the opposite direction. That disconnect reveals exactly where the league's biggest problems truly exist.
broadcast, like she felt kind of frustrated that they weren't playing competitively and they weren't playing defense and all these types of things. And it really only takes a couple players to pick up the pace for the All-Star game to improve, because we saw that in the NBA All-Star game. Like Victor Wembanyama really set the tone, and from that then Anthony Edwards kind of followed suit, and then other players followed suit, because if a couple people are playing really—
What Rachel pointed out about Caitlin Clark's frustration during the game deserves real attention. Caitlin has spent her entire career playing in showcase events, from high school all-star games to college exhibitions, and now the WNBA, so she understands exactly how these games work. Even so, she was visibly frustrated because players weren't competing, weren't playing defense, and weren't treating the game like it truly mattered. That frustration is understandable. Nearly 19,000 fans packed the United Center, paid premium ticket prices, and expected to watch the world's best players genuinely compete, instead of simply going through the motions. When Caitlin calls for more competition and Kelsey Plum says, "Let's give the people a show," they're acknowledging that fans fulfilled their part by filling the arena and creating an incredible atmosphere. Now the players have to do the same. The NBA All-Star Game showed how quickly things can change. After years of little defense and soaring scores, a few players chose to compete, and others followed. The WNBA has the very same opportunity to set that standard.
I think they should add a third event, because for the prices that people are paying for those tickets, you got to make it longer than an hour. But for WNBA All-Star only being 2 days in a row as opposed to like the NBA's 3, give the fans what they're there for. Like obviously you don't have to go 100%, you don't have to go like it's a playoff game, but give some competitive spirit, like play a little bit of defense, make your layups. You know, there was a couple like bloopers that were going super viral, and like that's to happen in every sporting event. But I do think it was—
What comes next offers a revealing look at how the league actually operates behind the scenes. The focus shifts to the three-point contest controversy and the obvious question of why Sabrina and Kelsey Plum weren't part of the competition. Both are elite three-point shooters. Sabrina won the contest the previous year, and Kelsey has consistently been one of the league's most reliable shooters for years. Their absence stood out, and both players made it clear they felt snubbed. But here's the key detail Rachel uncovered after speaking with agents during the event. According to one agent, if the league formally asks a player to participate in All-Star Weekend events, that player is contractually obligated to accept under the recently negotiated collective bargaining agreement. In other words, they can't simply decline. That makes the entire situation even more puzzling. If the league has the authority to require participation, why did Sabrina and Kelsey say they didn't feel wanted? Why did they describe receiving what sounded like half-hearted invitations through their agents instead of direct formal requests from the league? Either the league chose not to use its CBA authority to secure the strongest possible lineup, or there was a major communication breakdown between the league office, the agents, and the players. Neither explanation reflects positively on the way this situation was handled.
To talk about with you guys, going back to the Friday night events. I know I made a whole video about the three-point contest and like why Sabrina wasn't invited, why Kayla McBride like wasn't invited, and they both came out and basically said that they kind of got like a half-hearted invite from their agents. I was actually talking to an agent this past weekend about that, and I was like, what's going on? Like why wasn't Sabrina there? Like Sabrina should have been there. Anyway,
This was an enormous missed opportunity. A'Zia Wilson captured the three-point contest as a rookie, an achievement that was both impressive and historic. Now imagine if she had done it by defeating defending champion Sabrina and Caitlin Clark, the biggest name in women's basketball today. That would have been a true star-making moment and a storyline capable of reaching far beyond the WNBA into mainstream sports coverage. A headline like "Rookie defeats Clark and Sabrina to win three-point contest" would have attracted attention everywhere. Instead, fans witnessed a remarkable performance that never received the recognition it truly deserved because the field wasn't as strong as it could have been. None of that falls on A'Zia, who showed up and delivered an elite shooting display. The league, however, missed the chance to place her in a signature showdown against its biggest stars. That's the foundation of effective sports marketing. Rising stars earn their status by beating established stars on the biggest stage. What makes the situation even more disappointing is that it appears to have resulted from communication issues surrounding invitations rather than scheduling conflicts or injuries. An administrative failure ultimately cost the league a stronger event and denied A'ja Wilson an even bigger career-defining moment. The conversation then shifts to the league's leadership. We heard A'ja Wilson say she doesn't really have a relationship with Cathy Engelbert, and that their interactions mostly happen when Cathy is presenting an award. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, spoke positively about having a strong relationship with Adam Silver, who was also in attendance, but she didn't mention Cathy in the same way. That brings us directly to the commissioner situation. Cathy Engelbert was booed at Wintrust Arena during the Friday night events, something that is highly unusual for a league commissioner during an All-Star weekend. While commissioners in other leagues are occasionally booed when they're unpopular, it is never viewed as a positive sign. Even more revealing were the comments from the players themselves. One of the league's biggest stars, A'ja Wilson, publicly acknowledged that she has little to no real relationship with Cathy Engelbert beyond award presentations. That's a remarkable admission. The reigning MVP, the face of Team USA, and one of the most accomplished players in WNBA history having no meaningful relationship with the commissioner naturally raises an important question. How does the leader of the league fail to build stronger connections with its biggest stars? What Caitlin Clark said next may have been even more revealing because of what she chose to emphasize and what she intentionally left unsaid. She specifically praised her strong relationship with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, mentioning him by name, highlighting how accessible he is, and speaking positively about their interactions, yet she never mentioned Cathy Engelbert at all. That doesn't seem accidental. When someone in Caitlin's position wants to send a message, every word and every omission is carefully considered. During another event hosted by Lily Glamour and GQ, where Caitlin appeared for the second consecutive year, she once again spoke openly. Surrounded by her family, she discussed how much their support means to her, a theme that has consistently appeared throughout many of her recent interviews. She also addressed the media, saying they could analyze her game however they wanted, but encouraging them not to cross certain lines. Rachel then referenced a report suggesting that when, not if, the league replaces Cathy Engelbert, officials are expected to hire someone from outside the current WNBA front office instead of promoting internally. That possibility is significant because it suggests league ownership believes fresh leadership and a new perspective are needed rather than simply reshuffling the existing executive team. It also opens the door for someone with a completely different background, whether from the NBA, the entertainment and media industry, or the business world, to guide the league through its continued expansion and revenue growth. What seems increasingly clear is that the current approach is not producing the results many expected. The league continues growing, but critics argue that momentum has come despite the leadership rather than because of it. When stars as prominent as A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark are seen as either directly or indirectly criticizing the commissioner, it raises concerns that are difficult to ignore. The players are the league's greatest asset, and if they don't believe in the leadership or feel genuinely supported by the front office, those issues can grow far beyond an awkward All-Star weekend. Another revealing moment came on Saturday night when Courtney Williams received the loudest cheers from the crowd. Whether it was during the Stud Buds dance moments or throughout the game itself, the fans responded enthusiastically. Rachel, who watched part of the first half on television before heading to the arena to finish her work, experienced both perspectives. Courtney Williams receiving the biggest ovation says something meaningful about what WNBA fans truly appreciate. She is an outstanding player and an all-star talent, even if she isn't viewed with the same level of mainstream recognition as A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, or Caitlin Clark. What made Courtney Williams receive the loudest reaction from the Chicago crowd wasn't just her basketball ability, but her personality, infectious energy, and authenticity both on and off the court. When she and her Minnesota Lynx teammates performed their dance routine during introductions, the arena erupted because fans naturally connect with players who embrace their individuality and understand that sports are also about entertainment. The WNBA has a unique advantage with athletes who have style, personality, and cultural influence beyond the game, yet the league rarely maximizes that strength through its marketing. Instead of placing everyone into the same corporate mold, it should let Courtney Williams be Courtney Williams, Angel Reese be Angel Reese, and allow players to showcase who they truly are, because that's what builds lasting fan connections. Rachel also noted that Caitlin repeatedly spoke about the importance of family support, often mentioning her parents and siblings throughout the weekend. She added that, unlike the previous year, she skipped most of the after-parties because she simply wasn't feeling them. That conversation led into WNBA Live, an event designed to give fans interactive activities, merchandise, and a closer connection to the league. However, the experience highlighted many of the problems with Chicago's All-Star Weekend. Fans had to navigate a building that was also hosting an AAU basketball tournament. Clear directions were lacking, the layout was confusing, and the entire event felt like an afterthought instead of a featured attraction. Considering this took place in Chicago, a city well known for hosting major sporting events, the execution was disappointing. By comparison, multiple reports said Indianapolis delivered a far smoother fan experience the previous year, with easier navigation, a more organized layout, and a weekend that felt noticeably more cohesive and professional. For a smaller market with less experience to outperform Chicago made the contrast difficult for both the league and the host city to ignore. Taken together, all of this shows the WNBA still hasn't mastered the basic execution of major events. The league can sell tickets, as proven by the 19,000 fans at the United Center. It has outstanding player talent, the on-court product delivered, and fan interest continues to grow. People clearly want to support and engage with the league, yet it still struggles to bring every element together to create the complete experience fans expect and the moment deserves. Before wrapping up, Rachel thanked viewers, encouraged them to leave their thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more weekly content. She also shared that she planned to relax with a cocktail and spend time with her husband before he headed overseas again. Looking beyond one weekend in Chicago, the bigger issue is why this moment matters so much. The WNBA has reached a turning point where it can either build on its unprecedented momentum and become a lasting part of mainstream American sports culture, or miss the opportunity and slip back into being a niche product. Nearly every ingredient for success is already in place. Caitlin Clark is attracting new audiences. Team USA continues delivering dominant Olympic performances. Attendance records are falling across multiple cities. Television ratings have surged compared to just 2 years ago. Corporate sponsors are making meaningful investments, and social media engagement continues climbing. Even with all of that progress, All-Star Weekend in Chicago exposed weaknesses in the league's infrastructure and execution. That's concerning because moments like this don't come around forever. Sports history is filled with leagues and teams that gain national attention only to lose it through poor planning and bad decisions. The WNBA cannot afford to follow that path. The players are performing at a higher level, drawing larger crowds, generating more interest, and taking on more media responsibilities than ever before. They're more than fulfilling their role, yet when they arrive at All-Star Weekend, they find official merchandise displayed on simple tables in a hallway. Looking at the entire weekend, the problems become impossible to ignore. The Friday night arena wasn't full. The commissioner reportedly lacked meaningful relationships with many players, and the fan festival was difficult to locate. These weren't minor issues, but fundamental failures in event planning and organizational leadership. Rachel pointed out that the Friday night program lasted only about an hour and 10 minutes. Considering the ticket prices, travel costs, and time fans invested to attend All-Star Weekend, that simply wasn't enough content. By comparison, the NBA spreads its All-Star Weekend across 3 days with multiple events, creating a destination experience that gives fans far greater value. The WNBA, however, tries to fit nearly everything into a day and a half, and the difference is noticeable. That's why the idea of adding another event on Friday night makes complete sense. The arena is already booked, the fans are already there, and the production crew is already in place. So extending the schedule with a one-on-one tournament, a half-court shooting contest, a horse competition, or another entertaining event would give fans a more complete experience and make the evening feel worthwhile. These aren't groundbreaking concepts. They're basic event planning ideas that other leagues adopted years ago. Ironically, once the three-point contest finally began, it turned into an outstanding television and in-person event. A'Zia Wilson delivered a genuinely thrilling performance. The crowd was fully engaged, and the shooting quality was outstanding. What do you think the WNBA should add to make All-Star Weekend a must-watch event? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next basketball update.